Hi, this is Dodger and you're watching my show. So it is Saturday rather than Friday. Thank you guys so much for being patient. I'm sorry that you had to wait an extra day for what I'm sure you were clamoring for, all of this delicious gaming news. First, I have to tell you there was a dude at the grocery store who saw my shirt and he was like, oh, is that a reference to the movie Aliens? Yup. Now, I don't like to be that person who assumes like, obviously this is not a reference to Aliens because not everybody knows StarCraft. But as much as he was saying that he's a huge fan of Aliens, I feel like he would know that this is not an Aliens shirt. So, first piece of gaming news is that if you are as big of a fan of Deadpool as I am, you might be really excited to find out that at San Diego Comic-Con they announced that they are making a Deadpool game. The trailer for it just came out and it's super awesome. Although Nolan North's voice, I know that he's played Deadpool so many times, but sometimes it's jarring. Like his voice is just so deep for the part. But like his kind of manic voice as the thought bubbles is so good, which they also incorporated into the trailer, which made me so excited. And you know, there was all sorts of breaking of the fourth wall, and it looks like it's going to be like a pretty violent adult game, which is really good. That way they won't hold themselves back from anything, and you really can't with a Deadpool game. And for those of you, and I know that there are a lot of you who are saying, ugh, it's being made by Activision, it's probably going to be terrible. Get your hate straight. It's actually being made by High Moon Studios, which has made some of the amazing Transformers games, and those games were also produced by Activision, which this one is. So I'm expecting a lot. I'm trying not to have super high expectations, but I just love Deadpool too much, and that trailer was pretty good. Oh, now I wish that I was home so that I could read all of my Deadpool and Cable. Those are the best team up in comic book history ever. There's also a website called deadpoolgame.com, and it's not like one of those countdown websites where you're just irritated that you even bothered to go there. It actually has like info. They're making it so that you would be able to pre-order the game through the website. They have the trailer up on there. They've got like little extras. My favorite thing though is that if you scroll down far enough, I know I'm totally ruining something for you, but I have to so that more people realize this is a thing. If you scroll down far enough, there's just a huge picture of a chimichanga, and he's just like lounging, and he's like, the chimichanga, reasons to love the chimichanga. I loved it. But I think it's smart to have one of these like kind of launch websites where they're counting down to also have that be a place where people can pre-order the game. That's so rarely do I see that. Oh my gosh, my friend just texted me that she met Stephen Moffat. Focus. You have a show to do. I'm just texting her about how jealous I am. Hold on just a second. Second piece of news, any of you who might have heard of the new console system, the OUYA, it had a Kickstarter going that just started like a few days ago, and they already made up the money that they needed. They were asking for just under $1 million. And when I first read that, I was like, for a new console? Like, I feel like not that many people are gonna put that money behind it. No, they made their money and then some. In just a couple of days, they have like a little over 4 million, I think, at this point, which just blows my mind. So it's a console that's designed around a free-to-play open source model. It's something that's very ambitious. They want to make it so that every single game has a free-to-play demo. You can upgrade with money, but overall, every game will either be free or have a pretty decent free demo that you can try out. They've just started making deals with bigger companies to be able to have like very specific apps in there. Like Twitch TV, I think, is their first one. So they're making it so that you can watch Twitch TV on it. You can watch it on your TV, which, you know, you can plug into your laptop and be able to do that anyway, but it's still very cool if the quality is high enough. They're also totally encouraging people to hack into it because the idea of the console is that so many developers are having a hard time developing for console systems. It just makes so much more sense to develop for mobile systems, right? So this way, they would have a console that was totally like free and open. They'd make it so that you could do whatever you wanted with it, you could modify it however you want, and they made it so that it would be really easy to develop for. Oh gosh, I totally forgot to mention like one of the best things about this is it's only a $99 system. It would be comparatively, very cheap to buy. So it'd be cheap to buy, it'd be easy to program on. It's a very different method of creating a console than people have done in forever. I'll link you guys to their Kickstarter because they also have like their video where they explain the entire system and everything. It's very cool. It's a very cool project, and I'm interested to see what happens with it. Right now, I think that there are still plenty of the $99 Kickstarter option where you actually would get the console and one controller. So, if you're interested in that, do it! As a final bit of news, Epic announced also at Comic-Con their brand new game that seems so cool. Again, another game where I'm like, oh, please, I can't have such high expectations for this game because I don't want to be let down. But the game is called Fortnite, and it basically sounds like an adult's version of a building a fort simulator. Okay, that was like the worst way to explain this game. Okay, so it's like during the day, you have to find materials and bring them back, and you need to make a fort. You need to make it so that it is as locked down and tight as possible so that these big monsters that are around can't get to you. But the monsters don't come out until nighttime. It has a lot of sandbox elements to it that way, so like you can upgrade your weapons if you find the right materials to be able to make and upgrade your weapons. Obviously, like making and upgrading your fort and just making it as cool as possible. Just very, very creative that way. And I guess a lot of the developers that they have that are like within this world and kind of playing around with it have found so many different interesting things that they can do with it, which is also very cool. Because that means that once the game has already come out, it'll be very easy for them to add things in. It'll be really easy for them to do holiday specials, to add in just generally new content. I love that. And it also has the survival element that a lot of people really like, but they feel has been stale, right? So beyond just the sandbox elements of it that we all love, you also get the survival elements, which we all love. And some of you might be saying right now, well, that's kind of like Minecraft, you know, being able to build your own area, being able to build your own items, and then guarding against monsters. But it's in more of the epic style. Not to say that it's like Gears of War, but just that it's not as minimal. It's very fun, it's very goofy, but there are also lots of like little specific interesting elements to everything. So it makes it very fun. It makes it very playful while also having that survival horror element to it that's very exciting. And also the thing that I like is that it has high spec options, but they're not necessary to play the game. It's going to be on Unreal Engine 4, which is the most scalable of the Unreal Engines. So even if your game can't play really intense games, you'll probably still be able to play this one. Anywho, that is my show. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a positive or a negative response, feel free to leave it in my comment section. And if you want to have coffee with me, I've got it all ready, man. I'm shooting it right after this. Feel free to click wherever I put the annotation, and it'll take you to my other channel. I needed just a sip, just a little sip just then. But anywho, I hope that you guys had an amazing day, and I will talk to you again on Monday. Okay, bye-bye. Mwah.